Walking around able to talk. She's like, she just seems like a kid with like, there was one time where she like, bit my dad on the arm.
Focus, there we go. So this is just my tertiary bench today. So it's nothing really very heavy. I have like a priming single that's relatively heavy-ish. And then I just have a really light 5x10. And at this point in my week, like I usually feel pretty beat up, but this is like still really good productive training volume. You know, a 5x10, like it's basically under RPE 5, but it gives me a lot of really good practice with basically practicing my arch, for bar path, and really just primes my muscular system. The thing that I've just noticed is that for myself, since I'm so muscularly driven, I really rely on high reps and like slightly closer exposure to my primary day to feel strong. But basically, there's two types of priming sessions that you should have before your primary day. So there's muscular, which is going to be more so based off of higher reps, and a little bit more volume and proximity, whereas more of like a skill-based priming would be a little bit higher intensity. And although I'm combining kind of both of that, it's still very much biased more towards a muscularity priming thing, just because like I'm very reliant on my muscular system, and I feel best if I have like, I'm not fully fresh. There needs to be like some fatigue, and that's basically what this allows me to do. Whereas, you know, I was programming for someone who has a really high arch. It might just be like a few like primer technique singles, you know, like a higher intensity too to like practice that. But for me, if I was to go heavier as opposed to lighter and more volume, I would just feel worse. So yeah, sort of the idea behind this. So I'm gonna finish this up and move on to my accessories. So it's kind of a similar idea here on my belt squats with basically the muscular priming. So I'm just doing 2x12 with, you know, I'm not pushing it very hard, so probably RPE like 7 to 8, just because it helps my muscles like feel better, and I'm more like in tune with what I'm doing. And it's just something that I've just found over time that just what I need. I had a period of time where I had a lot of extra rest in between my primary session, or my secondary day and my primary day, about like 5 days. And although I felt really recovered, I just felt flat and like a lack of pop in my muscles. And then added a couple of sets of belt squat for higher reps, and all of a sudden I feel strong and poppy under the bar. So you don't need to always be fresh to be strong. Sometimes people operate better under a little bit of fatigue. Just about identifying what you need as far as stimulus, not only just the total week to avoid detraining, but in that last session before your primary day, what you need in order to actually feel strong and confident and in tune with your technique on that primary day. So that's what I'm done with the belt squat. Have some back accessories, and then some abs to get to.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So I looked that up, and then I started running YouTube, and I said, well, oh, it's like a quack, crack, so I went out to do that today. I think I left it. And at least he's an MP.
So I'm just listening to Coldplay right now. Politic. Actually, a lot of their earlier stuff is really good. Like their Parachutist X and Y and Rushing Blood to the Head. Very different than their more poppy stuff, but something that I always do in my training is I like to periodize or kind of change up my music selection. So on my non-primary days, I usually try to listen to more chill music. It's not as hype. That tends to basically help regulate nervous system and overall just fatigue levels. So if you guys are always, having to blare EDM or metal or something like that, you are going to be putting your body in like more of a sympathetic nervous system state. And like I even be careful about that outside of training, because like I get like less sensitized to that heavy hard music. So it's just something you guys can do on your sessions to help manage fatigue and manipulate performance. So like more chill music on non-priority days or not as high volume, and then you can use more of the hype music when you need it on your harder, more higher volume sessions.
So something that is of the massive question. So you do a house, you could do some more style.
So I just finished up with the gym and I went on a Target run. Target's like my favorite store. The funny thing is that now that it's getting warmer and now I'm wearing like my tank top and whatnot, more out in public because it's not 10 degrees outside like Utah gets, and now it's like 70, it's like mid-70s today, which is really, really nice. I get like all these people like randomly coming up to me, like one or two all the time whenever I'm in the store, like talking about like their fitness goals, or they just make like some comment about how I look, which I think is always a good reminder to everyone that like we live in this bubble where we always think that like we're not that jacked, but in the reality, compared to like the average person that doesn't train, if you train, have some muscle mass and some leanness, like people are going to notice. But overall, solid session today. I feel pretty up usually on Thursdays. Like how my weeks usually go is I feel pretty good on Saturday, which is my SBD day, and then I feel, usually good through about Wednesday, which is like my primary deadlift day, and then I usually feel pretty beat up, and that's why I usually my Thursday and Saturday sessions are a lot easier as far as intensity and volume, and this becomes even more of a thing that you have to do as your training frequency does increase. Is like you can't have every day be equally as hard or as much volume. That's the only way your body can actually recover. So you have harder sessions where you place more workload, and then easier sessions where there's less workload. So that's sort of how I program. And for my clients that have more of a higher training frequency, like I train like 6 days a week, so that is what you have to do. But all in all, good session today. Got some good accessory work in. It was really hot in the gym. Like the AC isn't really very much on, but regardless, like it gets to be pretty brutal training in the summer here. So just have to stay hydrated during that time. But yesterday's deadlift session, I'm really excited about. It was like the first session I felt like really good, like myself under the bar. Like 540 for 5 was super easy, like actually a true RPE 5, which is like how I should be moving. So I'm happy about that, and I'm especially surprised with that because I'm on some antibiotics right now because I got another freaking thumb infection. Like I've had 3 infections in the past 3 weeks, which has sucked. And like the antibiotics just wrecked my stomach, and I just don't feel very good on them. But thankfully, like the thumb is a lot better. The swelling is down a lot. It looks really gross though. Like the skin tattoo has like some like, it's not like necrotic tissue, but like it just kind of proves to me like if it didn't get help, like it could have been like fully necrotic. I could have like lost my hand. But the thing is, like I just refuse to like mentally weaken, like give in. Like I always tell my clients, like do your job and lead from the front. And doing your job is just about doing your best, what that you should every single day to accomplish your goals. And so that's like even if I don't feel great or I'm not having like the most easy training, it's like, or life circumstances pop up, like it's like you're not special because of that. And I think it's important for us to just realize that everyone has difficulties, everyone has challenges, and you can't get in your own head about that and hyper focus on that. You have to focus on doing your best. And like I've just down on my volume a little bit this week because I haven't been like sitting as much and recovering as well, and that's what I've been doing. So all in all, just really happy about that, and I'm excited to see the rest of the block does bring, but starting to take advantage of the extra calories a little bit more, being a little more aggressive with things. I'm in what I estimate to be a 300 calorie surplus. Like I've been waking up more in the 190s, which has been good, right? I need to be, and just eating and just not really worrying about what I weigh, because like sometimes I get in my own head about like, so I don't gain weight in like a smooth line upward. It's like I always gain in these chunks, and that kind of gets to my head when I'm like up 2 pounds, and I truly like 4 pounds in like 1 week. But I always like remind myself like it's glycogen, it's water weight, like you're gonna be fine, and just trusting myself, and just not getting in my own head. It's like, to be fully transparent, like it's something I deal with with like eating disorder background of always having these thoughts and having to really just tell that part of my brain to shut the fuck up and just do what I know I should do. I think we all have that part of ourselves, but like just being fully transparent with you guys, I still struggle with that every now and then. But I'm doing my best. The difference now is like I can like differentiate between that and like I want so badly to be strong and feel like myself again in training. It's like I get so much fulfillment out of that, and I'm still gonna stay lean throughout the entire process. Like the main way that I really help out with my clients and how you don't really ever get fat. Like you always gain some body fat when you're bulking. It's impossible to avoid it, but like you don't gain more than 5% of your body weight, or like 10 pounds in any one bulking phase over like 3 to 6 months, ideally closer to 6, and then you reevaluate, do I need to cut or not? Usually you will need to mini cut, but maybe you had a really good bulking phase, maybe it's only like 2 weeks, and then you redo that thing, and that's sort of what I'm doing. So like I really want to be 200 pounds by August, and then see how I look and how I feel. Yeah, just excited that I'm starting to feel better. Hopefully this video is filled with lots of value. I'm going to be trying to vlog a little bit more and share some more tips and information in this way. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. But yeah, maybe we can wrap things up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are interested in coaching, wanting to get strong and aesthetic without really sacrificing your physique and how you look, just add 20 pounds on your bench press. Links are down below. I'll show you exactly how I can get you strong and build muscle and just build the physique of your dreams without having to sacrifice how you look, just to get your goals. The reality is that you don't have to do that. Like, you can stay lean year round while making really, really big improvements. So that's something you guys are interested in. Links are down below. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.